Lawrence Busch Gardens, man. Disney World. Yeah, me on my way to Space Mountain. That's true. That's the fastest thing at Disney World. No, it's actually a trick question. It's the trash. The trash goes through a vacuum cleaner and go up to 60 miles an hour. It might be a matter of days before I get to talk about it. Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Monday. How we doing out there? Having a good day? All is good? Man, they lopped off some hair, man. I was like, just a little off the top, fade me down the side, and we got to talking about kids and life and all that stuff. Next thing you know, I'm bald again. Anyways, it's better than the way I did look because it was getting a little rough there. We are financial advisors, and we're just normal people, man. That's our thing is, share, obviously, stuff that helps you get your dough straight, but not try to intimidate you or impress you. I mean, I like the studio stuff. It's kind of fun, but we're not going to wear the suit and ties. We're not going to try to use big words and stuff. I have spent years getting rid of my corporate language and just talking normal, which I find that advisors just can't do. I don't know who they're trying to impress, but well, actually I do, but I don't really care. So anyways, we're going to talk about the stock market here today. Some good stuff. I had something planned, but I'll probably save that for tomorrow because the market's falling, right? How exciting is that? You've been waiting for the markets to fall. I brought the towel. I didn't know if we were going to need it. Brought the towel, keeping it close. I'm like, here we go. I get all kinds of excited when the markets fall. And there's actually a lot of interesting things happening. So I want to go through this here. I want you to know today was broad and consistent selling. It was not like the last couple times where we saw the market sell off in just one pocket or just one or two little areas, brought the market down and then we snapped back up. Wasn't like that. This was across the board, just incredible, broad selling. So we'll talk about that. That happened all day long until like the last 15 minutes of the day there. If we look at the S&P here today, you can see we're clearly below the 50-day. I've been talking about this for about a week and a half now. Our streak of 19 days of not having a plus or minus 1% day comes to an end here. It's actually only the third Monday of the year that we've lost more than 1%. That's just kind of funny, right? You go the whole year. This is only the third time of the year. There's only two other times where we fell more than 1% on a Monday. Well, it's kind of funny, actually. This exact same Monday last year, we lost 1.11%. So something about the 20th or the 21st of September, which was last year was the 21st, being a Monday just seems to be kind of negative for that there. Anyways, we're below the 50-day here, and of all the days that can be down 1%, Monday is the best in terms of getting a bounce, right? So inevitably, there's bulls out there. Some of you want the pullback. Some of you don't want the pullback. That's fine. If you don't want the pullback, then when Monday has a 1% down day or greater, Tuesday tends to be the best day of a reversal. If, let's say, Thursday is a down day, then Friday doesn't really do anything. You really want Monday to be your really, really weak day so that Tuesday can be known as Turnaround Tuesday. That's what people like to call it, and it gets that because of those stats. The average gain on Tuesday, after being down 1% on a Monday or more, is 0.56%. The average gain the rest of the week is actually 1.13%, and it's positive 66% of the time. In other words, when Monday's rough, people use the rest of the week to maybe do a little shopping, go see what's going on there. This is over the lifespan of the SPY. We use the SPY today. So that goes back to like September, October 1993 when that actually came out. And it was 155 occurrences, by the way. So it wasn't just like once or twice there that this happened. Now, I'll go back to last week where I was saying that you have many sectors in the market that are already showing weakness. How is it that the market's up here when many of the sectors are either trending lower or are sideways? If you look, you have industrials. They weren't doing anything and fall off a cliff here. You have energy. We know that. We've been looking at energy here. It hasn't really done anything besides last week had a good rally. But other than that, it's not energy that was lifting the markets to new highs there, and it's hard for me to say that when the markets are going up and for you to have the attention, yeah, Dustin, whatever, the markets are going up, he's just trying to find something. But it's really a lot of that underlying weakness. Financials had already started pulling back, fell apart today. Communication services, which really did a lot of the heavy lifting on the way up for the markets, they're already pulling back. Look, the last 2 weeks, it's already been pulling back there. Go to basic materials, same thing. So looking through the sectors, and I said this last week and a little bit the week before, there's something going on there, right? And so today we get a little bit more of that. There it is. Yeah, the market's going to be weak there. Also, what I thought was impressive, I'll use the SPY so you can look at it too. We go to the 5-minute here. Look at throughout the day. Very impressive how there was very, very limited buying throughout the day. Where's all the buy the dip people, right? Everybody that's saying, oh, just give me a little drop of 1 or 2% and I'm in. They weren't here today, right? At the end of the day, you basically had day traders short covering. There was no buying throughout the day. But very interesting how this rally so far has not found anywhere for people to say, okay, I'm in, I want to buy. So your lesson of the day is this becomes, as the title says, the most important week of the stock market so far this year. And I don't mean that as a joke or to grab your attention or anything. Why is it so important? Think of the psychology of what's happened all year long. All year long, we hit or trade around the 50-day, and within a day or two, sucked up and right back towards highs. It happens again. Sucked up and right back towards highs. Here's a little minor dip, very same thing. Within a day or two, you get this rally. Every single time. There's not one time on this chart that you can say that. Well, this time would be the furthest below the 50-day we've traded. And if we do not start to recover all day tomorrow and going into Wednesday, we got the Fed meeting, so there's a chance, right? If we don't have this immediate recovery, what happens? Everybody recognizes that we have recovered in a matter of a day or two all year long. If we do not recover in a day or two, all of a sudden sentiment changes a little bit. People go, maybe this is the end. Maybe that was a crash, right? I hate when people say that. But then they start going, okay, well, maybe I need to just hold off a little bit. I'm not going to buy as much as I was going to buy on this dip because the market didn't rally. What happens if we just spend tomorrow and go up 0.5%, Wednesday flounders around a little bit, maybe 0.5%, and over the next 2 days, we only gained 1%, somewhere in there. That doesn't really move the needle to get people to believe that we have this recovery. Look how strong these recoveries were on the days that they did. For example, just this here. This was a solid down day at one point that erased every single bit of selling and went positive. Think of the psychology behind that, where people go, I have nothing to be scared of anymore. We were all red, now we're all green. Great, all right, market rally continues. We may not have that this time, and that changes people's minds. So when I say this is the most important week of the stock market, we have the rest of the week to recover as hard as humanly possible to convince everybody that sort of generally pays attention to the market that everything's fine. If we do not, those people all of a sudden start sitting on the sidelines. I start sitting on the sidelines. You start sitting on the sidelines, and we start to believe that there's something wrong and more downside could be coming. And you know where people look? They look at the 200-day. They're looking down here at 408, or if we go back to futures here, we're looking back over here to 4100, right? So really, tomorrow, you'd like to see the stock market back above 4400 if you're looking at the index, right? Back above 4400 makes people go, this is no different than every other time. And even still, if people go, yeah, that 50-day, those technical traders with their 50-day moving average, they don't know what they're doing. You know, the market dipped, you got a little better dip, yay, we bought the dip, that's what's going to happen. So we'll see. We've got some time on this, but that's why it makes this important. This is either the end of the trend or just another pullback like everything else that just happened to get a little out of control. So that's what you got there. All right, looking at the Nasdaq. Did I give everything there? Yeah. So the Nasdaq's now shaving over 5% off of its year-to-date gain, still up 15%, so nobody's freaking out about anything there. If you look inside of the Nasdaq, just ever so briefly here, I want to talk about the names that suffered a bit today. Going to be your Chinese names. Pinduoduo down 6.5%, despite the good things coming out of China as far as what they said about regulation. Baidu down, JD.com down, and then you have your semiconductors. Remember, the semiconductors were one of the most overbought industries out there, and so it'd be totally normal for these to pull back. You got, that's Activision. You got CLAC, KLA-10 Corp. Right, little pullback inside of what's otherwise a very strong stock here. Applied Materials inside the range. I think that's going to break out, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. You got NVIDIA pulling back on the day. These are just some of the worst performers in the NASDAQ, so it very quickly tells you that's the nastiness, right? That's where everybody wanted to get out. They had belief in the semiconductors. They fell for the headlines and the shortages and all that, and now they're running for the hills. And one other one, NXPI Semiconductors, pulling back inside of that range. I thought a few names held up nicely in the Nasdaq today. I don't want to just talk about nastiness all day. I thought Booking Holdings held up nicely. Happens to be a stock that we own. That one actually finished the day positive. It was only down just a little bit on the day. Verisk, you got I just think a nice pullback in the works here. It happened to finish the day positive. That all came in the last couple minutes of the day, so it's not not like that it did that all day. Pepsi, only down a little bit on the day. Very slow mover considering the range that it had for the day today. I don't mind that one. And there was a couple others. I think ADP was the other one. Yeah, clean, consistent pullback. It has been weaker than the stock market, but notice today it's trying to hint at a little bit of a bottom there. Why didn't it sell off 2% on the day? Didn't happen. So I thought that was kind of interesting there. In the Dow, you've got this great pullback, obviously, like everything else, down 2% on the day. Point out that those Salesforce.com stats so far trending perfectly. Remember, I sold the 240 puts. It was up for 2 days. I closed the puts, and I shared the stats with you why over the next 5 days that it really doesn't do a whole lot. And so if you're looking at that Salesforce today, it's not doing a whole lot. Didn't do a whole lot on Friday. A couple more days, you don't expect it to just blast off to new highs. Therefore, you take the risk off the table, and you didn't have to sit through what happened today. Lastly, I'll point out Bitcoin. Good pullback in Bitcoin for those of you that want the Bitcoin pullback there. Today's pullback actually triggers a head and shoulders pattern. So if you're familiar with the head and shoulders pattern, it's just a technical pattern people like to look at, but it is bearish. And so if that happens to continue or you're trading it technically and you like following those patterns, well, you likely have more downside to come for Bitcoin, or you believe there's more downside to come. Also, I'd ask yourself, if things are getting weaker out there, what are you investing in Bitcoin for? What do you think is going to happen, right? Is it going to be a currency here? No, that's not going to happen. It's not efficient enough to become a currency. You've got the Fed talking more and more with the SEC about regulation. So you're really just buying Bitcoin in hopes that it goes up and somebody else will buy it from you. It's just a trading vehicle at this point, a very inefficient trading vehicle as the IRS gets their hands on it. So careful there. All right, if we go to the sector breakdown here for the day, there we go. Every sector, how many were there? There were 6 sectors that lost 2% or more. Every single sector was down on the day. Another way to quickly see that there was broad, consistent selling throughout the day. Energy had the biggest move last week and also had the biggest move today, down 4%. Last week being the biggest move from lows to highs. So not bad, but erased all of that here today. Industrials Industrials was the most oversold in the short term, extremely oversold now, and back to the 200-day moving average, maybe something you're interested in there. I'll go to consumer discretionary there. It remains the most overbought even after today, but it was the smallest moving sector of last week, so maybe a little bit of that is just some shock trading today, because this one was quiet last week, and today it wakes up and it's down 2%. You go, uh-oh, there's some traders in there going to be a little nervous. Utilities had the biggest downside range this week, and that continues this week as well. Very extended in the short term, also seemingly trying to hit the 200-day moving average there. New highs and lows, there are officially no new highs, there's 2 new lows, but no new highs. Let me point out the new lows real quick, and then we'll go to the guess the Dow. Newmont down 2%, breaking into new lows, getting very extended here. And gold was actually positive on the day, just by a touch. So Newmont standing out with a little bit of weakness there. Take-Two Interactive and ATVI was weak on the day, but Take-Two down to new lows, just barely. Right? It's a pretty slow, boring downtrend, and for now, you don't mind that. If you're looking for any kind of a dip to buy, you obviously have that, but I'm saying you don't have any panic selling. There's no news-driven, fundamentally driven pullback here. It's just people selling the stock. Vertex, I want to point out, I just put a couple others on there. Vertex is one of the closest to making new lows. It has been incredibly weak there. Verizon also flirting with new lows there, about 0.5% away from hitting new lows. So if you're looking for names that might be on the list later this week, could be them, as well as Hormel. Hormel seems to refuse to bounce there. All right, guess the Dow. Let's see what we've got. Can I figure this out here? There you go. It's just going to be me today. Cody and his difficulties there. On our list, we will come back to that in a second, actually, right? Because we got a winner. We got to talk about the winner. Our winner, Tony Wee, man. Tony Wee guesses 34, 584, 88, wins $100 there. Did Tony go with the gift card?
He did.
Tony went with the gift card there. So that's he's been alerted there. We'll send that gift card out to you. And then you have on our leaderboard, you have, this is kind of cool. So all of these people are clients, right? First time that's happened in a long time. Beren, Catherine, Henry, good luck Henry there, Elena and David, all clients. And they are, I'm told, at the bottom of the list. So they had bet that the market would pull back. Now, is there an advantage? Did they have an advantage here from me or something? I don't know. But all of them are on the lows of our list for the week. And if we happen to fall any further, there's only one other person somewhere around 24,000. But if we happen to fall any further, we're going to have less and less people on the list. So kind of cool there. There may just be one person by the end of the week if the market keeps this up that's just sitting on the Guess the Dow list. But if you want to play, jazzwealth.com/Guess the Dow, and a $100 gift card, or if you're a client, you can take a $100 credit to your account. It can even be an IRA. It could be a Roth IRA. Doesn't matter to me, however you want to do it. All right, let's do stocks in the news for the day, and then we'll take your questions if we can here. All right, Amazon's up first. Boris Johnson says he's going to tell Jeff Bezos that the company needs to pay more in taxes, meaning Amazon. Well, somebody should tell Boris Johnson that he's not the CEO anymore. You're talking to the wrong dude there, so I don't know what's up with that. Nike, Barron's basically said that Nike's probably going to have issues with production thanks to their shutdowns and continued shutdowns over there. Supply continues to be an issue there. You can imagine this being an interesting holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, and all that. For all the holidays that are celebrated around there where gifts are given, it could be a tough one, man. There are already a lot of supply issues out there. So should you buy Christmas gifts now in anticipation of less supply and higher prices at Christmas? If you celebrate Christmas, huh? That's a different way of thinking about it. Coinbase down 3.5% on the day. They are not going to do their crypto lending program. Remember last week we talked about them sort of teasing and bickering with the SEC about the gray area in the rules there. They've decided now we're just going to scrap it. We're not going to deal with it at all. That's a shame. I actually liked what they were trying to do there. Teladoc. Almost hitting new lows on the day. COO resigns, but the company says everything is still cool. We reaffirm our guidance going forward. We do believe the company is still on track to hit all of our metrics and Wall Street's metrics. Blah, blah, blah. COO retires or steps down. Las Vegas Sands, and also Wynn, if you want to look at Wynn as well. In Morgan Stanley over the weekend lowers the price target on Las Vegas Sands and Wynn as well after this drop here. They have to. And you know what we'll do tomorrow? We're going to talk about where the stock market is and every stock in the stock market related to analysts, where the analysts have their average targets versus every single stock in the market. I'll share that with you in a real easy way to go over that. All right, we'll take your questions here in a second. We also have tax stuff happening. Lots of it going on there. Social media was spent the weekend really focused on the $600, how the Biden group wants to monitor your bank account if you have over $600 in it to catch the billionaire tax cheats. I think that's pretty ridiculous. It's like it's pushing people into crypto. Why do we don't need to know. You know why they're doing that. By the way, we can come back to this one day. The reason they want to monitor transactions over $600, I mark my words, this is exactly what's going to happen. You know how if you're a company and you pay somebody over $600, you have to 1099 them? I think it's still $600. Maybe it's $100 or $2 more now, but I can see it coming. They're going to say, if you buy something at the store, well, you paid tax on it. We're good with that. If you give your buddy $1,000, that's not fair. You should have to pay tax on that. You can see it coming, right? Where they're going to say if it's a personal transaction, that's a taxable event. Letting mom borrow $1,000, that's a taxable event to mom or to the giver, right? And I know there's laws in place for that right now, but you can just feel it. I don't know. I can feel that happening. Also, tax stuff happening. IRA is going to be banned from alternative investments. Horrible, stupid idea. Raising the corporate tax is one of the ones. That's the obvious one. They're selling that as, well, the corporations need to pay more. Where do corporations get their money from? Huh? Do you think corporations are just going to pay more tax and say, oh, we'll just pay for it, it's fine? No. We pay for that. We buy stuff from the corporations, we pay to corporations, they make a profit, right? They're just going to pass it on to the consumer. So that's a tax on the average person there, in my opinion there. And Microsoft, by the way, doing a $60 billion share buyback. That brings the total of 2021 share buybacks to $370 billion. You got your Target in there, you got Lowe's in there, tons of other companies as well. And they're trying to get ahead of the potential surcharge on corporate buybacks. Remember, corporate buybacks are good for you, the investor. Is it good for the U.S. as an economy and the general person? There's a disconnect there, right? Like, it's a tough one. As an investor, you cheer it on. It makes sense. You want corporate buybacks. That's return of share of equity to you. We'll see what happens there. But there's all kinds of just randomness in there that they're proposing right now. And a couple more days, or what is it, a week, and we'll hopefully be at the end of this one. So we'll see. We'll get rid of that, so that fixes any audio issue there. And let's see what questions you have, man. Try to help you guys out here. Limitless imagination, how to steal your money. Yeah, I get fired up about that stuff because the idea of wanting to look at, it's bad when the president has to do a press conference and talk about, look, we just want to see dollars coming in and dollars going out. That's it. Like when he has to talk to you like you're an elementary school kid and we all have to sit there and think, yeah, okay, that's all you want to see. Right. All right, we trust that, right? What government have you trusted? Republican, Democrat, I don't care. It could be anybody that made that proposal. Who here watching would say, oh, that's all you want? We trust you that that's all you want. Okay, no ulterior motive? No problem. Yeah. I think any American would be skeptical of government doing that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's always going to be something like that. And you know what? Years from now, there's going to be more changes and stuff. That's the beauty of this process that we live in. Echo should be gone by now, I hope. I had the wrong button selected there. I'm sorry. Hey, you bought your Friday wins 87.50 call. You're going to hang on to it. Well, you would hang on to it because of today's sell-off in the market, right? You have an overextended stock. You have now a slightly extended stock market in the very, very short term. So any broad-based buying tomorrow, give it a chance, see what happens. If this doesn't go along with the market, let's say the market bounces and win does not go along, then you start questioning whether you have something there or not. But for now, I think you give it a chance. Yep. I like the way you said that, Viet Vet. Love your country, love your differing ideas, good place to learn. I love the differing ideas, but I don't like how it's presented so much of a, this side, right? Any corporation has a board with people that are naturally of different ethnicities, races, political beliefs and stuff, but yet they work together. And they make companies great and greater and greater and greater. Look at Tesla. You can imagine some of the people some of the people on those boards. General Electric, through their ups and downs over the years, right? They still have a board of people that somehow work together. Why is it that now because you label yourself red or blue, that now it can't be, or don't let them win anything, right? One side or the other. I don't like that. It creates a lack of progress, and that lack of progress, that's a tough one, man. You want to see things getting done. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh boy. What's going on with China's stock? Their stock market's closed, so nothing's going on with China today. Well, it opens in a little bit, but their Monday was closed. So nothing, if you're saying like, what, did something go wrong? Nope, just a holiday. Closed over there. Yeah. Why didn't UP go up today? Seems like it had the right name. Why didn't it do it? No, that's the dollar. So if you're looking, the UUP is the sort of pure play for the U.S. dollar, if you're looking at that. And it did go up a little bit. This is not known for, the dollar's not known for being hyperactive, by the way, so you're not typically going to see a lot of volatility. Yeah, and gold as well. I think gold had a slight up day. I said that, yeah, up 3/4. Yep. Roth or Roth IRA when in your 30s? Both. They're the same thing. I think you meant IRA or Roth. I would suggest the Roth for the moment, unless you have extremely high income. Other more important things to do. Well, but to be fair, I mean, this is that time, right? We have to figure out those how they're going to deal with the budget, and it is that time of year, or we shut down the government and all that great stuff. Remember last go around, we actually did shut down the government. So, it's the time where that has to be talked about. And I don't mind the talking about it. I don't like the bickering. Like, hey, let's solve some stuff here, man. But we'll see. You like the haircut? I don't like it, man. It's too much, right? It's just too much. Got too much taken off, but that's okay. That means that's longer until I have to go get another haircut, which I'm not too fond of getting haircuts. Yeah, cool. I love it. Would you have considered strangle in Salesforce if you knew there was a low chance of moving over the week? I would have considered that. However, my Salesforce, so the margin on Salesforce, a portfolio margin account, was actually taking away from margin on another position. So I was only doing that to get a free trade. I said that backwards. I was getting a free trade on Salesforce because the margin was being used elsewhere. So there was no need to, if I would have put the other side on, then that would have been a standalone trade with its own requirement. So that's the only reason I didn't do that. I love a strangle on Salesforce at that time. Yep. And even if it was spread out, like oftentimes I'll have more of a bullish belief in something because I like looking for stuff that sell off, but I'll go a little higher. It won't be an even strangle. It'll be like a lopsided strangle or whatever you call it. Call it whatever you like. What are the chances that 600 gets passed? Well, we'll find out, I think, in a couple days. Yeah. We'll find out here soon. And keep in mind, like, it's not meant to fire you up. There are really hundreds of different proposals. They're going to work it out, whatever they're doing to work this out, and then there'll be a final list, and then they'll go vote on that. So we'll see. Don't be so sure, Ledges. Hair don't grow back like it used to, man. It's just not the case. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there and call it a day. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to have a hard time sleeping. I love when the markets fall, so we'll be ready to see what happens tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us, and enjoy the rest of your day.